there are 6 actions that can render your prayers invalid and make your salah totally invalid, unacceptable. What are those 6 actions? Number 1 is speaking deliberately in salah. And what is the evidence for this? This is found in the hadith of Muawiyah ibn Hakam, and it reads, إن هذه الصلاة لا يصلح فيها شيء من كلام الناس إنما هو التسبيح والتكبير وقراءة القرآن. The Messenger of Allah alayhi salatu wasalam says, the prayer in which there is speech of man, any form of speech, will not be accepted unless 3 categories. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned tasbih, takbir, and qira'atul Quran, recitation of the Quran. These are the only things that are permissible for us to say during the salah, the prayer. Number 2 is the passing of a woman, a black dog, or a donkey in front of the praying person, in between the praying person and the sutra. So a passing of a woman, a donkey, or a black dog can invalidate the salah. And the evidence for this is the hadith of Abu Dhar al-Ghifari, in which he says, يَقْطَعُ صَلَاةَ الرَّجُلِ الْمُسْلِمِ إِذَا لَمْ يَكُنْ بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ مِثْلُ مُؤَخِّرَةِ الرَّحْلِ الْمَرْأَةِ وَالْحِمَارِ وَالْكَلْبُ الْأَسْوَدِ. Now this hadith indicates that the prayer of the praying person is rendered invalid if there is a black dog, a woman, or a donkey passes in front of him. Maybe he doesn't have a sutra, or they pass between him and a sutra instead of around the sutra, in front of the sutra. And the sutra, you will know, is something that is placed in front of a praying person to avoid anybody passing in front of you, and hence which may lead to the invalidity of the salah. Number 3 of the things that can invalidate your salah, being sure that one has passed wind. When you are sure that you have passed wind, then the salah is rendered invalid. However, sometimes the shaitan plays with our imagination to make us believe that we have passed wind. So the criteria for believing that one has passed wind are 2, and the scholars say when you hear a sound or when you perceive a smell. One of the 2 is okay. When you perceive a smell or when you hear the actual sound and not just the feeling, of one passing wind. Because the shaitan comes and sometimes, makes one to believe that they have passed wind. So if you have either of these 2 signs, you hear the sound loudly and you perceive a smell, then you have actually passed wind. Now, what is the evidence for this? Now, somebody complained to the Messenger of Allah alayhi salatu wasalam, that what should you say for a man who imagines that he has passed wind? And then the Prophet ﷺ says in the hadith, لا ينفتل أو لا ينصرف حتى يسمع صوتا أو يجد ريحا. He should not leave the salah unless he hears a sound or perceives a smell. You see, so this shows that when one actually hears a sound and perceives a smell, he becomes sure that he has passed wind, and this can invalidate the salah. Number 4, deliberately leaving out a pillar of the salah or a condition for the acceptance of the salah. And of course, we have to go study the pillars of the salah and the conditions for its acceptance. And then we know when we miss one of these, then the salah is invalid. One of the pillars of the salah is the recitation of Surah Al-Fatiha. So when one leaves the recitation of Surah Al-Fatiha, then the salah is invalid. The exception to that is if a person is a new Muslim or a child who is not able to recite Surah Al-Fatiha correctly, then such a person is excused. However, it is obligatory that you must learn it and you must recite it in your salawat. Now, one of the conditions of the acceptance of the salah is the proper performance of wudu before the salah. So when one's wudu is not complete, then the salah will not be valid, because the wudu is a condition for the acceptance or validity of the salah. Number 5, laughing. Ibnul Munzir said that the scholars are unanimously in agreement that laughing invalidates the salah. Number 6, deliberately eating and drinking in salah can also invalidate the salah. This is also an ijma, according to Ibn Munzir, that the scholars have also all agreed that eating and drinking deliberately in salah invalidates the salah. And this is the same for obligatory prayers as well as voluntary prayers.